Mary! How are you and Alex doing? Do you have any plans for the Labor Day long weekend? If you haven't planned anything yet, would you like to join me on a trip? Hello, Diana. We are doing fine, thanks. A trip? Another one so soon? Oh, I must have forgotten to tell you. I won the weekend getaway giveaway from the grocery store last week. It's valid for any state. The plane tickets are paid for and hotels are also reimbursed. But as you know, since Anthony passed 2 years ago, it's just been me. So rather than going by myself, I thought it would be nice if I could bring you and Alex. Doesn't a weekend in Hawaii sound fun? But why us? Alex isn't your only son. Why don't you invite Brian and his wife instead? We already went to Las Vegas last year. Ah, now that you mention it, I remember. It was after Thanksgiving, right? And I see Brian and Ann so often, so I thought I'd ask you two instead. I also want to go on vacation and enjoy time off with you two. Besides, I haven't seen you two in so long. You guys didn't come home for Thanksgiving or Christmas last year, right? We missed you, and I was sad you guys couldn't make it. That's correct. We were busy, so we couldn't come home for either of those. Anyway, it's fine. We can't go on the trip, so you should just ask Brian and Dan. If it's a financial issue, you don't need to worry. I would be more than happy to pay for you guys, too. Look, Diana, it's not about the money. If I say yes, we're going to go as a group of 3, right? You, me, and Alex. That's why I don't want to go. You mean you don't want to go on vacation with me? No. Doing things like going on a trip with my mother-in-law? That sounds like a real pain in the neck. If you really want us to enjoy the trip, then please just give us the tickets. That's the only way I'll go. I'd rather stay home and do nothing by myself than go to Hawaii with you. I've always thought this, but I didn't want to bring it up. I get the feeling that you hate me. I feel like you've disliked me since the moment we met. Am I correct? Did I do something wrong? Not really. I don't particularly hate you. It's okay, you don't have to pretend anymore. I've always known. But honesty is the first step, so I want to repair our relationship. Since we are a family now, I want to fix things and get along. If we go on vacation together, I feel like we can have time to bond and get closer. Good food, nice weather, and amazing scenery. How could anyone be in a bad mood in Hawaii? My God. You have to understand that some people just can't get along. And with you, Diana, I just can't. I just physically can't. What do you mean by physically? It's like a physiological thing. Just being near you makes me squirm and feel sick. So please, I beg you, stop trying to bond and get closer with me. It's just a waste of time and effort because nothing is going to come out of it. What part of me makes you feel that way? Is it how I look? How I act? I really sincerely want to get along and be a family with you, so if there's any problem, I will try my best to fix it. You always do this. You try to get along and play nice with everyone so that no one is upset. But it just seems to me like you think you're better than everyone else and that you're doing us all a favor by talking to us. It's all just for your self-importance and to indulge yourself. It's so annoying to watch. Oh, I had no idea I came off that way. And also, you try way too hard to make yourself seem younger. It's gross. You're like 60. It's about time to stop caking on the foundation. When people say, "Wow, you don't look your age," or my favorite is when they say, "Wow, are you two sisters?" when I'm with you. After that, you just get way too excited and brag about it for the rest of the day. I think it's best if you don't get too carried away, especially at your age. It just makes you look silly, chasing after your youth and all. I think saying I brag is a bit exaggerated. You're already at this age, yet you still expect people to pamper you? Maybe like 50 years ago they would have, but that's still pushing it. To be completely honest, it's so cringe and I get so much secondhand embarrassment watching you. I'm sure it's not just me, but everyone that's related to you is embarrassed. So you really should try and be more modest about it, and understand when people are just giving out empty compliments. Goodness. Is this what you've thought of me all this time? So with this, I trust you finally understand how I felt all this time and all the things I've had to deal with until now. Once again, we respectfully decline your invitation. And I really don't have the desire nor need to get along with you either. All right, I understand. I'll go to Hawaii with Brian and Dan. Yes, you do that. Thanks for the invite, but you don't need to invite us to anything else. Mary! I can't believe it. The way you acted earlier! I just can't let it slide. Please explain to me right now. What was with your attitude earlier? What do you want? What are you going off about all of a sudden? I'm talking about the way you acted at the funeral earlier. What were you thinking? How could you do that? All of the other relatives were shocked too. So many of them asked me afterwards, what's wrong with your daughter-in-law? You mean at your dad's funeral? My grandfather-in-law? Don't be silly. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Diana, please. You know that I had to come from so far just to participate, right? I mean, it wasn't even in the same state. I don't care either way if they thank me for attending or not. But what right do they have to complain? That's the attitude I'm talking about. It's disrespectful and really does not reflect well on us or yourself. Specifically, how you acted like it was a waste of your time to be there. You didn't even try to hide it. Not only that, you left as soon as the funeral ended. You didn't even greet any of the relatives, and you were on your phone for the entire service. How could you think that kind of behavior is appropriate for a funeral? I mean, I wasn't trying to hide it because it really was a pain in my neck. Driving so far, then sitting through such a long, boring funeral? You really expect me to pay attention to hours of speeches for someone I've never even talked to? I only went because Alex made me. If he didn't say anything, I wouldn't have gone. I even tried to protest, but he dragged me with him. In the first place, why do I have to attend the funeral of some old geezer that I've never even met before? I really am touched that you came all this way for the service. But if I knew you were going to be so blatantly rude, I wouldn't have asked you. I really regret it now. Regret? You should put yourself in my shoes, being forced to go to some random person's funeral. I'll repeat that I never even wanted to go. I'm tired of dealing with this. If you have any complaints, please take it to your son. Goodness me. I know you dislike me, but I hope you know that when you take such a disrespectful attitude to a funeral, people will question you as a person. Your character and morals. What? Come again? Diana, please, let's stop right here. You don't have any right to lecture me. Is it too much for me to just offer you some life advice as an elder? Even if it's just a name, I am your mother-in-law. No, you're totally mistaken. We're unrelated, like strangers. Unrelated? Strangers? I mean, we aren't related by blood. You do understand that, right? Just because I married your son, it doesn't make me your daughter. So could you stop lecturing me and acting like my mom? Because it's really freaking annoying. I don't remember signing up or agreeing to be your daughter. Do you? I mean, if you put it that way. So you see me as an unrelated stranger. That's correct. That's how I've always seen it, since I met you. And I assume you will take the same attitude and act in the same manner at my funeral, too. Actually, if it was my funeral, you probably wouldn't even attend, right? If it's not mandatory, then I wouldn't go. It's a waste of time and effort, after all. Since it's not like I'm related to you or anything. But I feel Alex would force me to go anyways. Alright, I understand. From now on, I will also think of you as someone unrelated to me. Not as my family or daughter-in-law. Just the person married to my son. Just as you wish. I won't invite you to any events, nor expect you to attend. I won't message you unless it's urgent and concerns Alex. That's how you want it, right? Of course! That's perfect! Wow, I feel so much lighter all of a sudden. Like a massive weight has been lifted off my shoulders. You've always been so pesky, like a little mosquito that just won't leave me alone. And there wasn't anything I could do about it. But now we're unrelated and basically strangers. So thank you. Diana! How could you do that? What's with you? For you to initiate and be the one to message me first. Did something happen with Alex? No, Alex is fine. He's not what I wanted to ask about. I see. Nothing to worry about then. That's good. Well then, what brings you here? If it's not about Alex, the only connection we have is unrelated people. Did you really pay the construction fee for Brian and Dan's new house? Is it true? Oh, that's why you messaged me. I thought it would be something more major and serious. To answer your question, yes, I did pay it off for them. But what about it? Wasn't it really expensive? They built a new house completely from scratch, right? That's right. It was quite expensive. If I remember correctly, it was around $500,000. Was that $500,000 just for the construction fees? I heard you bought land for them, too. Yeah, that was just for the house itself. That land belongs to my family. Originally, my relatives had a house there. But since the kids grew up and moved out and no one lived there anymore, the house became vacant and they ended up demolishing it. So it just ended up being an empty lot. Then it was passed around our family and I ended up taking possession of it. Why did you give it all to Brian and Dan? What about us? Alex is the older son, you know. Why wouldn't I? Why didn't you financially support us, too? We just built our house recently, too. I know what you're talking about, but what I mean is, what point are you trying to make here? Who in the world would just donate money to help a stranger build their house? I don't understand. You sure are acting strange today, Mary. Huh? We're unrelated strangers, right? Don't you remember? You were the one that said it. I helped Brian and Dan build their home because they are family. Important family members that I would do anything for. Oh, so that's why. I see now. You didn't offer us money or anything when we built our house because of what I said last year? What do you mean? It's only natural, right? You and I are unrelated, so of course I wouldn't just give you money. Would you go around giving strangers money to build their homes? I'm just doing as you requested, you know. And besides, you refused before when I offered to take you two to Hawaii. So I came to the conclusion that you just don't want any presents or handouts from me. That's not what I meant. Oh, that's right. I remember now. You said something along the lines of not wanting to go on a trip with your mother-in-law because it's a pain, right? Since you just like me so much, doesn't it disgust you to accept money from me? Does it make you physically cringe? Let's slow down for a minute. First of all, $500,000 is a large sum of money. How could you just give them that much? I had no idea that you were so rich. Even Alex had no clue that you had that much saved up. Well, to be honest with you, I tried to be smart with my finances and still have all the money that Anthony left behind. But of course, all of that is not enough to be able to just offer $500,000 in cash, right? And I wouldn't be able to just give them all of my savings and retirement funds since it'll give my sons trouble in the future when there's no money to take care of me. So the one who had enough money to be that generous was actually my father. Your father? You mean the one from the funeral? That's correct. To tell you the truth, my father was actually quite well off and left a large inheritance. Since my mother passed away way before my father, when he left us last year, all of the inheritance was left to my brother and I. No way. I didn't know your side of the family was so wealthy. Who would have guessed from how ghetto the funeral was? My goodness. How could you say that? You really have no tact and respect. It was a modest and humble funeral. We followed the wishes of my late father. He wanted a small and simple funeral with only relatives and close friends. My father was always a frugal and ordinary man that didn't spend lavishly, so he didn't want people to see him as rich or wealthy. But it's so strange. How did his own grandchildren not know that he was rich? Alex never told me anything. That's not true. I told Alex and Brian multiple times. Your grandfather is actually a rich man. I clearly told them this. But I guess they didn't believe me or underestimated how wealthy my father was, since he led such a normal, modest life. So Alex should have been aware this whole time. To be frank with you, even I had no idea the extent of his wealth. I had no clue how much he had in assets and properties until I inherited it. So I guess it's only natural that my sons never bought into it, as I wasn't even aware of how much my father had. My brother was the only one that knew the details. My father never gave me any specifics. The land that Brian and Dan built their home on was also something I inherited from my father. So that's how things played out. I knew something was going on behind the scenes, since I never heard anything about you owning extra land or anything. Anything related to real estate and properties I let my brother take over since I can't manage it by myself. But that piece of land was the only one I asked my brother for, since I thought it would be perfect for Brian and Dan to build their new home on. It's close to me and it's in a nice neighborhood. So what about... For you two? I don't have anything for you. The only land I asked for was the one for Brian and Dan. Other than what I got for Brian and Dan, I didn't have any needs or desires for any more land. So I got the rest of my inheritance in cash. The timing is perfect, too, since Brian and Dan are planning for a child now. This way I can spoil my future grandchild and give him as many presents as he desires. I can also sneak him as much pocket money as he wants. That's so unfair! It's unfair that you were only doing this for those two. What about Alex and I? He's your older son, you know. What are you saying? This is what you wanted, isn't it? To be unrelated. But that was before I knew things would turn out this way. If you regret becoming unrelated strangers so much, then shouldn't you make an effort to redeem yourself? Like changing your attitude towards me. How much longer do you plan on being so disrespectful and rude? Good morning, Diana. Isn't it such a lovely day? Would it be alright if Alex and I came by to visit you today? Mary? What's gone into you? Did you eat something strange for breakfast this morning? I think this is the first time you've ever wanted to come to my place. Even back when you and Alex started dating, you'd never come over unless we insisted. Oh, you're so funny, Diana. Nothing's wrong with me. And I had a nice, quaint brunch with Alex this morning. I just wanted to come over to apologize for everything up to this point. Please let me redeem myself. Oh, that's what it was. You don't need to worry about it. I don't need an apology or anything from you. Let's just stay as unrelated strangers, all right? I think that's best for the both of us, considering the time and effort you would have to waste. No, wait! I really am sorry. Please hear me out. I take back what I said about wanting us to be unrelated and go back to being strangers. Please forgive me and let me be a part of the family. Didn't you say that it's physically impossible for you to be around me? If that's the case, then I think it would be very difficult for you to be family with me. After all, I wouldn't want to see you suffer. Even if we are unrelated, you are still the wife of my son. I also never expected you to push yourself and get along with me, so it really is okay for things to stay like before. No, that was a misunderstanding! A mistake! What do you mean by a misunderstanding? This is really hard for me to admit, but the truth is that I actually really look up to you, Diana. Really? Is that so? Because I don't see it at all. It's the truth! I was always just jealous. I mean, you may be older than me, but you carry yourself so well, and you are still so beautiful. You get along with everyone and they all flock to you. You're like the sun. I've always been jealous of how you are always at the center of every event. I'm confused. So you were rude to me because you were envious? Every time you were around, I felt miserable and pathetic because I felt so inferior. That's why I said all those terrible things and put so much distance between us. I sincerely apologize. Oh dear. I had no idea my presence made you so miserable. I do apologize for not noticing earlier. In that case, then it really is better if we don't bond and become a family. I wouldn't want you to feel bad. No, I'm okay with it now. I've gotten over those negative feelings now. Well, you may be okay with it, but to tell you the truth, I'm also unhappy when you are around. So that's why there is just no way for us to be a family. Anyway, I'm happy as long as I have Brian and Anne. Anne treats me as if I am her real mother and we have a great relationship. No, please. I'm begging you. Please forgive me. I can be like that too. We can bond. Me, you, and Anne. It'll be like having two daughters. I'll never say anything rude and disrespectful to you. I promise I'll be good. My goodness. As soon as I told you about the inheritance, your attitude changed completely. You did a 180, didn't you? Are you really that desperate for my money? That's not it. I just want to properly make amends and fix our relationship. I want to be part of the family. Could you please stop with the blatant lies? It's so easy to see through you. I already know about everything. About your very expensive house. And how the final price was way higher than what you expected. What was that saying again? Champagne taste on a beer budget. Living beyond your means. Well, that was out of my control. We added a few options and customizations here and there, and at the end, the total fee was way higher than the original price. I didn't want to compromise or cheap out because this was our once-in-a-lifetime purchase. But we had to take out loans, and there's just so much that we have to pay back. Because of that, we don't have the financial capabilities to have children. Even though I really wanted to have kids after we built our dream home, I have no choice but to give up on my dream. I see it as a blessing in disguise. Someone as shallow and materialistic as you really should not have kids. If you did have children, they would only suffer. I already feel bad just thinking about it. Either they would turn out all twisted and shallow like you, or they would suffer and go through all kinds of trauma. But it's my dream! To live in a house with flowers and a white picket fence, raising my son and daughter. But we can barely pay off our loans. Diana, please help us. There's nothing I can do for you. If you are having such a hard time with the loans, then you should just sell the house. No way! It took us so much time and effort to get to this point. I finally built my dream home. All you do is say no way and refuse to compromise. If you keep being selfish and wanting everything but not willing to compromise, you're going to end up losing everything. What do you mean by losing everything? I got a call from my son. Not from Brian, but Alex, your husband. He called to apologize to me for your actions. Alex did? He didn't say anything to me, though. He said that he was also at fault for not being able to control his own wife's behavior. So I gave him a lecture and told him about all the things you've said to me. Then he told me that there were many other issues and he was considering divorce. Divorce? Alex is planning to throw me away? Why? Well, to start, your attitude at the funeral. Even your own husband thought that it was inappropriate and unacceptable. He told me that you guys had a fight after the funeral. I wouldn't call it a fight. It was more like a disagreement. He just said, I wish you'd stop with that attitude. It's not like he yelled at me or anything. That's because you yelled at him and forced him to stop saying things that you didn't like. He said that even though he couldn't oppose you at that time, his distrust and dissatisfaction towards you grew and became stronger. I also know the reason behind your ridiculously high construction fees. It was all because of your selfish needs to have this and that. If you didn't want every option and customization, then the price would have been reasonable. So from my perspective, it's only natural that Alex would leave someone like you. No, I won't accept this. There's no way I'll accept the divorce. That's something you should say to Alex. Not to me. There's no way that someone like me, an unrelated stranger, can do anything for you, right? Please, Diana! I won't ask for your inheritance or money, but please help us out with the cost of my dream house. But my money is all from my late father. You know, my father, the one you disrespected at his own funeral. After all that, you still expect to be saved by the money that he left behind. Aren't you ashamed? It makes you worse than a mere parasite. In that case, I will sincerely bow down and beg for his forgiveness in front of his grave. No, please don't do that. It won't be necessary. He's resting in peace. If you did that, it would only disrupt him and cause trouble for us. I don't have anything else to discuss with you, so please don't contact me again. Is Alex really going to leave me? Will he really divorce me? As his mother, do you really have nothing to say about this? Our marriage is in trouble, you know. Who knows? I am more than satisfied with seeing how happy and peaceful Brian and Anne's marriage is. After all, a divorce between a couple that's basically unrelated strangers to me has nothing to do with me. Afterwards, Mary came over to apologize in person. She was crying and begging me to forgive her, but it was all in vain. On top of that, her relationship with Alex had gotten worse and reached the point of no return. Mary didn't work, so she was financially dependent on Alex. That's why she tried her best to avoid divorce. But Alex had already made up his mind, and there was no way around the inevitable divorce. In the end, Alex ended up selling the dream house that they built to pay off the loans. After the divorce, Alex also apologized to me many times, talking about how it was his fault for being blinded and manipulated by Mary. I ended up forgiving him, but not without teaching him a life lesson. I lectured him, telling him that he really does not have good taste when it comes to picking a partner, especially when it comes to personality. And I told him that he needs to look at personality and look deeper than just outside appearances. He had no words to defend himself. All he did was mutter, "I'll never get married again." After all, it's better to spend one's life alone and single than get caught by a twisted woman. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more fun content. And why not leave us a comment in the comment section down below. See you next time!